If you're interested in creating a YouTube channel or growing a YouTube channel, this video is for you. Hi and welcome. I'm glad you're watching, and I do want to thank you for watching or welcome back. This video is about choosing your YouTube name, your YouTube channel's name, and the name is extremely important. So if you are thinking about a YouTube channel name, then I urge you to watch the video because it's going to help you. And what we're going to cover are some important tools, some free tools that will help you. That, in my opinion, they will get you about halfway there. Okay, and then I'm going to give you some more tips to help you to make that name maybe a little cooler, a little more unique, a little more special. And then I want you to stay tuned to the end because I want to share a few of the no-nos with you. Some of the things that you want to avoid and some of the common mistakes that you might possibly make, not intentionally, of course, but especially if this is your first time creating a YouTube channel, it's quite possible that you could make some of these mistakes. So you certainly want to make sure that you know about them so you can avoid them. So the first thing I want to share with you are some simple tools that will help you kind of think of a name, give you the right ingredients for the name, and in my opinion, do not stop there. So this is like step number one. And I'm going to share with you a tool called Overload. These are some tools that I happen to like that if you will use your search box, you'll probably find hundreds or maybe even more. There's all kinds of tools that will help you generate a name, but I happen to like Overload. I also like the Shopify tool. I'm going to give you a link to these below. I also like Name Mesh. These are three tools that I like, and then I want to follow that up with a tool called Panabi. And there's four tools there, and I think between the four of them, you'll certainly find one or more that you're going to like, and that'll really help you as far as creating that name. I want to share one other tool with you that you're really going to need, in my opinion, you need to be aware of, and that is a tool to make sure that that idea, that name has not been taken already. One of the things that I do is give shout-outs, and sometimes I have to go back. Well, one of the things that when I give a shout-out, and if you would like a shout-out, all you need to do to qualify for the shout-out drawing is to give us a like and a comment. You do not need to subscribe. You'll find a link to the shout-out rules below. Let's say that you gave us a comment, a like and a comment. And so you're entered into the shout-out drawing and you get chosen. Let's say you're a shout-out winner. All right, one of the things that I'm going to do is go back to your channel and let you know that I've given you a shout-out. So I've got to find your channel. Well, I search for your channel, and I've had this happen way too many times. There are 3, 4, 5, 6 channels with the same name. You don't want that. I don't want that. You don't want that. Believe me, you don't want that. If somebody's looking for your channel, you don't want them to click on the wrong channel just because you've chosen a name that half a dozen other people have. So that's why this tool is so important. The name of the tool is called Name Check. Real easy to use. Type in what you want to find. Whatever you choose for your channel, you'll type that in, and it's going to tell you whether or not that is taken for a domain. Because one of the things that you want to do if you get a YouTube channel, you really should get a website with that domain name, because you're going to use that website maybe to send viewers and visitors to your channel. You can also send people to the website to maybe for affiliate marketing reasons, for email sign up, and so on. So there's a lot of good reasons why you want a website that matches your YouTube channel. So anyway, it's going to help you for domain name. It's also going to help you for social media. So it'll let you know if that name is already taken on social media sites, and it's going to let you know also for mobile apps. So you won't have the problem of 5 or 6 other people or more with the same name. You really don't want that. So this is a simple step that you can take right off the bat, and then you're not going to end up with facing that problem later on. For a new YouTuber especially, in my opinion, that's a major problem because people are you've actually got people searching for you and they can't find you, or they have to sift through 5 or 6 other people to find you, and you can quickly avoid that, easily avoid that with name check. So I'm going to include a link to the name check, and it is very important that you do a name check before you make your final decision on the name of your channel. Okay, the next thing I want to share with you are some simple tips, because as I said, these tools they're going to get you maybe like halfway. You're not there yet. You're about halfway there, in my opinion. Then these tips are going to help you get the rest of the way there. The reason why I want you to pay attention to the tips is because you want a name that is cool, that is different, that is unique, that is special. So these tips are going to help you to take steps to get that result. The first thing I want to share with you is to consider adding an adjective or maybe even a verb. I chose Internet Marketer Training partly because I've got a website, internetmarketertraining.com, and it's already kind of as long as I want to go. So I could have used a word like intense Internet Marketer Training, or bold, or whatever. You can use, again, adjectives such as fast, bold, new, sleek, etc. Adjectives can be helpful, but don't make it too long, that's all. But this is a way, however, to make your title different, make it unique, and maybe make it a little cool. And cool never hurts. The other thing you can do is add a prefix or a suffix to your product, your name, your channel. Marketing mania, internet marketing mania, cookie-licious, eye cooking. These are just simple things that you can do to make your channel different, unique, and just kind of set you apart. Again, coolness is something, I don't want you to think that all the good names are gone. They're not. Many good names are gone, but there's many, many more that have not been thought of and not taken yet. So the amount of names is virtually infinite. So these tips are going to help you to tap into those names that somebody just hasn't thought of yet. Something that I want to share with you is what I call name combos, where you might combine names, combination of 2 names. An example would be like NyQuil, nighttime, or DayQuil, daytime. These are just some brand name examples. Digi cooking, digi painting, things like these are ways that you can put combine a couple of words and come up with something that, again, descriptive and unique. The other thing that really can be of help to you is called alliteration. So you can use an alliterative combination such as like video, voice, better beauty, maniac marketing, kooky cookies. These are examples of alliteration that could set you apart. You notice I have cookies on my mind. One of my favorite things is to eat. But of course, I like internet marketing and YouTube, growing a YouTube channel even better, except for ice cream. If you just kind of cannot come up with the perfect name, or it's just not, that's not your thing, you're overwhelmed or whatever, you can always go with your name or with your company name or your product name. Well, maybe not your product name, depends on what the product name is. If it's your product, your own product, yes. If it's already taken, first off, you don't want to go there because you don't want to have a dozen other products with the same name or other YouTube channels and so on with the same name. And then the other thing is you don't want to get into possibly even copywriting and trademark and things like this. So be careful. Your own name, that's not a bad choice. Now, in my case, for example, GeorgePierce.com is taken. Somebody else has that. But I can go with George G. Pierce. I can go with George Pierce. But something I'm not going to do is go with George Pierce 1 or George Pierce 101 or George. I'm not going to go with a number. So that's one of the no-nos, and that's the thing that I want to get to next are the no-nos. Now, these are things that you want to avoid. So in my opinion, now there may be some exceptions where a number might work, but offhand I do not. I can't think of any. And the reason why I discourage a number, for one thing, it's a little bit confusing. The other thing is it George Pierce ONE or George Pierce 1? So that's one of the things that I suggest that you avoid, not putting numbers in your YouTube channel name. The other thing that I would recommend is not to make your name too long. So I wouldn't, the short and sweet, so to speak, in my opinion, beats long and laborious. So don't go with a name that's too long. Try to keep it short if you can. The other thing is, and this to me is probably the most important, because this is a big mistake that I see is that some people are not doing, and that is to use the same name everywhere you go. In other words, if you've got your name YouTube channel, then make sure you go with yourname.com, your name YouTube channel or whatever on Twitter, on LinkedIn, on Tumblr, Reddit, and so forth. Use the same name. Use it consistently. Use it throughout. But the last thing that I want to touch upon one more time is to do the name check. Use that name check. Use that link, and there will be a link below. Before you choose that name, make sure that it's not, that there are not a whole bunch of other channels with the same name. As unique as you might think it is, there are, Lord knows, millions and maybe more. So a name that you think is unique may not be very unique at all. So be sure to check. That's very important. Be sure to check. Make sure there's not a whole bunch of other people that already have that name. Because that's just not good for your channel. It's not good for your product. It's not good for you. It's a negative that you can avoid, and you can do that right up front by doing a name check before you make a final decision. If this is the kind of video that's of interest to you, if this helps you, give us a like. Hit that like button if you would. You can give us a comment or not. Certainly would appreciate it. And go ahead and subscribe and ring the bell, and that way you're not going to miss out on future videos. Thank you. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Allow me to wish you much success. Again, internet marketer training is pretty long, in my opinion, for a name. But one of the things I love to do is to eat, and fortunately, I've lost weight. And believe it or not, I have a weight loss channel, and but I have learned how to enjoy eating. And anyway, I'm getting off this. But one of the things I love to do is to eat. So